Good morning, Writing 394. This is Professor Anderson with a little bit of that change in discussion format that I shared with you earlier in the week. I'm sorry I'm a day late posting. Please know I'm extending the deadline for posting and commenting to another student's initial post. So our assignment was to view the, watch the executive summary video from Victoria Business School, and then to post your, after watching it, post a draft of your executive summary for your following, for your report. So if we go, this is the review for executive summary. It's a quick video, and the highlights from this are, your executive summary is a full miniature. It's a complete replica of your paper, and it's in the same order. It defines the problem, shares the research, offers recommendations. And that's really what your report does, just in a more expanded form. The executive summary is a 10% miniaturized, or 10% of the whole miniaturized version of your executive summary. So if you have a 10-page report, your executive summary is going to be 1 page of that. And that's basically what this covers, this video. So if you were able to watch that, that may have been kind of helpful. I apologize in advance. I have all of these tabs pulled up ready to share with you some additional information. So remember, if I pull up this one, it's an executive, the executive summary is the miniature replica that contains the same parts in the same order. And those parts in that order, let me make sure I have the right one here. Here we go. Executive sample. This is from the Victoria Business School, and this is located in the resources section. So it follows the title page. It makes sense on its own. It gives the reader a quick grasp of the report's purpose, conclusions, and key recommendations. And so that's really what it does. It says, like, we have a problem in our office. This is our problem. This is what the research shows about it. So here's the report's purpose. That's the problem. The conclusions are research shows we can address it this way. And then key recommendations are those recommendations that you would offer, for your specific industry. So that is a quick glimpse, a little preview of the executive summary. And then there's one more that I wanted to talk about. Let's get over into here. So if I take a look at each one of these executive summaries, and I'll have to pull this up a little differently. There we go. So here we have a quick view of the problem, is that we're not being able to fulfill duties based on a schedule, an overall schedule of the office. So I wonder if boiling this down to real clear and concrete and direct language, what I want to share with you is in this executive summary, or this is the Victoria Business School sample from the resources. So I apologize for just a second. I'm going to scroll down to page 10. I'm on 8. I'm going to scroll down to page 10. Maybe it's 11. There we go, page 10. Writing the business report. Let me share with you this section here. So how to structure paragraphs well. Use a quick topic sentence, a couple of explanation sentences, maybe 1 or 2, supporting statements, and a conclusion. Above all, write with clear sentences with very plain language. So what I see here is you're saying staff members inside the military office at the Joint Cyber Analysis course have grown frustrated with not being able to fulfill their duties. Better to say, staff members are frustrated with work overloads. The problem stems from scheduling in the office. New check-ins not ready to properly change. So actually it sounds like it's the problem stems from transitions. So what I would recommend here is, while you're giving me a summary of an executive summary, should tell me the problem, should tell me what the research says, and then should tell me the solution or recommendations. What I would recommend here is boil this down, just get right to the heart of what the problem is. The executive summary serves the purpose of sharing with busy executives the problem. The more direct, clear, and concrete an executive summary, the more likely a busy executive will be to turn the page and look at the next piece of information. So I like how you have this right up front. Make sure that you're using clear and direct language. At the bottom, I'm not sure why my paper won't scroll down here. At the bottom, I like how you bullet point or highlight in some fashion those key recommendations. That is key to redundant. That is very key for outlining an executive summary. So let's take a look at this next one here. Here we go. So I like how we have another example of a structure. I had this question in an email. The Victoria Business School shows without subheadings, and then there's an example that shows with subheadings. It does not matter. Where I shared before for the memo, it's very important to follow that formulaic template. In an executive summary, it kind of sets the tone for the rest of your paper. If you choose to use subheadings like this, like Shannon has used, then make sure throughout your paper you use subheadings. If you don't use subheadings, then don't use subheadings in your final paper. So your executive summary should set the tone for the rest of your paper. Remember, it's a miniaturized version, a miniaturized replica of your paper. So the format should flow just the same. Let's take a look at what we have here. So it gives us a definition of what these programs are, but it doesn't tell us the problem. Make sure that first paragraph sets the tone and problem. While drug awareness, drug prevention and awareness programs are integral, the rise of drug awareness, or the rise, my brain's not working right now. The need for drug awareness and prevention programs is on the rise. So set the importance of what the problem is. You don't want to define the drug and awareness program. That's not the purpose of the executive summary. You want to define the problem. And that way you can determine what your conclusions show. Most importantly, in an executive summary, you want to remove first-person references. So because the executive summary is as basic and business as you can get it, as factual and to the point as you can be. And an executive summary does not include references because it's one component of a larger paper. You want to remove those references, and you may even want to remove them inside of here, because this portion is really, you're just summarizing the whole of your report. Here's our problem. This is what the research shows. This is what I've got, or the research from our specific building or our specific industry has gathered. And these are the findings and conclusions, and these are the recommendations. So let me scroll down here and see this one. Let's see here. Right, so here we have another example of using those subheadings. That's no problem. When we use these subheadings, you want to make sure that the heading of that paper component. So we have two examples here, like this is the heading of the component of the paper, of the research-based report. This is a subheading of the executive summary. So this executive summary should be larger. You should bold that and center that. And then make sure that all of the separate components throughout your paper are centered also. Property management company, not been, there we go, right directly, right to the point. We're having a problem with a property management company. It's created these consequences. So they list the consequence. Here we want to move these recommendations. Therefore, this report, now we don't want to take this off here. Here's what we want to do. In this very initial, the purpose of this report is we have an issue and a problem with our HOA. And this issue and problem is multifaceted. And they are, and then list those three things that they are. The findings and conclusions, take out this questionnaire part. That's part of your findings and conclusions. Research was conducted in two major areas. One, secondary research shows a larger trend across the nation for poorly managed HOAs. Point to A, B, and C problems. A more direct survey of residents in this particular subdivision show that the results mirror, their problems mirror these additional problems. I need to make a second screencast so I can get through everyone. Hold on for just a second. Let me see if I can stop this. There we go.